I am over 50 and I am embracing life. I'm going to share with you my top 5 lessons that I have learned that have helped me come up to my 50s and transverse through most of them. Number 1, the late 40s, early 50s, mid 50s are a great time for assessment. We can go in today. Sometimes people call this a midlife crisis. It is not. Assessing our life. Where do we want to be? Is this where we thought we were going to be? What do we need to do now to continue forward? During my early 50s, I got to deal with a variety of things that my previous years helped me navigate. The next lesson was to really embrace that 50 is darn young. Okay, now I'm 57. 57 is darn young. I have a good, hopefully 30 years, maybe 25, but 30 years ahead of me. And one of the things about being in your 50s is you can no longer lie to yourself as far as how are you actually doing? How's your diet? It shows up. How's your activity level? It shows up. Can you get down onto the floor and get back up again? That becomes an interesting thing as far as a lot of people don't. I do a lot of yoga, and my yoga practice has changed, not significantly, but there's definitely been some changes. So you definitely start to see that there's a timeline and it's ticking. It is ticking and ticking. And there are things, life isn't over when you're 50. You're just aware, more so than when you were in the 40s. You are aware there's an end game back there, and I want to slide into my grave. I really do. With a little bit of a salsa swirl, margarita in one hand, and a whole bunch of love in my heart. So what is it that it looks like when you get there, right? So it becomes a process of almost daily. I mean, I'm not looking at life like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Not doing that. It's more of, oh my gosh, I am living, and I am living for me, and I am. And it's a wonderful time of life. The third lesson is that I and many others have really become clear on what I will spend my money on and what I will spend my time on. So what I'll spend my money on are things of quality. And no, I'm not going out and buying a super fancy car, because there are other things that I consider more quality than that. Investing, incredibly important. Going to spend time with my kids, which now requires a plane, or driving. I love to drive. So going to see my kids are 2 different parts of that, the time and the money. And that's where I want to spend my time and my money. I want to spend my time in my home, taking care of it. I want to spend my time laughing and loving. I want to spend my money towards things that bring not only me joy and happiness, but my family joy and happiness. Time becomes more precious, more valuable in your 50s. You start to realize that it is fleeting, it is going, and let's live every single moment to the fullest. What about you? Do you have something in your life that you're ready, that you know? Because come on, if you are mid-40s, you know yourself. You know, yeah, this is really not what I want to do. So what is it? Put it down in the comment for me. What is it that you really think it might be time to give up? Or something that you did give up, and let's celebrate it. Now, one of the things that I will spend money on is self-care. And self-care comes in so many different ways. Yes, it's going to the doctor and making sure all the parts are working. And it's also a good bottle of wine, right? So my business was a wine and cheese shop. darn good bottles of wine, and that's self-care. I mean, not going overboard and laying out on the floor drunk because you drank so much. That is not self-care. That might be considered self-abuse. But really enjoying the finer things, a nice bottle of wine. It doesn't have to be super expensive. There's a lot of good wines out there that don't go over the $20 price. There are. I can tell you a few. If you want to share a couple of your favorites, drop it in the comments. And also massages. Go and get the body massaged. And also along that line, truly, is going and working out. Go lift heavy things. Ladies, go lift heavy things. You need it. There's so much to be said about it. All right. All right, and lesson number 4 is I don't have time for drama. Just no. I don't have time for it. I don't want it in my home. I don't want it in my head. I don't want it in my place of business. I don't want it in my family. I don't want it within my community, and I don't want it within my national politics. I have no time for drama. Just stop it. So what does that look like? Do I have my head buried in the sand? No. I do watch very limited amount of news. I go to different, I don't go to the big ones. I don't like, if their breath is like, no, that's a pure sign that they are bringing up the adrenaline, and I don't want to share it. I don't. So I'll go to written word about read the news online, and I also will go to the quieter, the ones who really boil it down in a nutshell and just give you the facts, ma'am. There's a lot to be said about cutting the freaking drama out of your life. It calms the nerves. Your heart isn't like going, oh my God, I'm gonna die because I'm hearing all this stuff. I mean, you might, because it's kind of nutty out there right now, guys. Let's just be real. It's a bit nuts. And we don't have to be stewing in it all day. We can take our action, but we don't have to be stewing in it. All right, so beyond the news, I also don't watch videos of angry people or people acting poorly or any of that, because why do I want that in my psyche? I really do know and see that as I have eliminated things over my lifetime and have put better things into my life, that my mind is better, my body is better, because your body does keep the score. There's a great book. There's a couple other ones too. Anyway, when the body says no, Anyway, great books. And why do you want to bring that crap in? Just why? You can find out the information that you need to find out without being amped up, without having algorithms keep feeding you all this divisionary stuff. When I cut it out of my life, it's so much better. We're humans, right? Because stuff does come up and you go, oh my gosh, what's going on? But if we keep scrolling past it, it's better and better. So lesson number 5 is I found out the 50s is a great time for reinvention. Not meaning that I switched who I am, but I brought forward the more of the things that I really wanted to see more in my life, that I wanted to be showing more to the world. And I let go of the things that just really didn't serve me anymore. There's something magical about being able to look at your life without huge emotions and without criticism, and just say, is this really where I wanted to be? Is this where I thought I was going to be? More than likely the answer is going to be no, because that's always changed. But maybe this is a great time to shift just a little, just a small shift one way or the other, or through letting different things go, bringing in the things that support that vision that you have for the next season of your life, and moving forward with it. This is an exciting season of our life. That's kind of like the final frontier. We don't know what's going to happen. It's kind of a crapshoot. And how exciting, how exciting. We get to come back into our own being and choose every day, one thing over the other. And it can be the simplest thing as far as setting the alarm a little bit earlier. And I label my alarm. So I have like $1 million morning, which means I get up and I do something. I work towards more financial freedom. Or I have one that says sleep in, because I've set it for later, but then when that goes off, it's like, oh, I can get up or I can continue sleeping, and that's fine. So give yourself some grace, and maybe it's just that, where you get up a little bit earlier so you can work on you. If it's reading, if it's creating a YouTube video, there's so many different things that we can do. So come along with me on this awesome journey. Hopefully you'll see some things that make sense, that you can bring into your own life. And I'm looking forward to hearing all about your life. Bye.